What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Hidden Oaks Homestead. It's Chip, Nicole, and Rex joining us today. We recently decided to get all these cats off the front porch. These are Amber's cats, and she has more than we need. And
it started multiplying really quick.
We took too long to get them fixed. So we have an army of cats, and they have been living on the front porch because that's where Amber's been feeding them. And I made the decision it's time to stop feeding them on the porch, start feeding them in the barn. And they've slowly learned that the barn is home now. And so now he's probably going to join us.
Now they're part of the Barn Talk staff.
For Barn Talks.
Yeah. Especially him. He's really...
He's always,
very needy.
Anytime we're sitting out by the pool or on the front porch or anything,
finds us.
He's got to be in somebody's lap. Yeah. He's Nicole's garden cat.
I know. There don't even have to be any cats around anywhere. As soon as anybody steps foot outside, they come from every corner of wherever they are hiding or hunting or sleeping.
Especially
or whatever.
This one.
Especially
we
this
can
one.
We can take a walk through the property, and he will pop out of the woods and just
he will
just find us.
He will.
And hopefully he'll stay in my lap and not want to be on the table with his junk in my face the whole time.
Well, he just got fixed, and that was an adventure in itself.
So we started with two cats that we adopted, and they both came neutered. And then one of them didn't stay very long. He didn't like it here, and he took off. And then Amber got two more cats.
She adopted two strays.
Yeah, and these cats were not fixed. And by the time he was old enough to get fixed, first, he was ready before we knew it.
Yes.
And we immediately had kittens. And then we were like, okay.
There's an age limit to when you can actually drop them off to get fixed as well. So.
And then, so Nicole set an appointment to get him fixed, but we could never get him in a crate. He loves us to death, but he fought for his life to stay out of the crate several times.
You don't want to fight a cat for its life. It gets pretty ugly.
We missed a few opportunities to get him fixed, and while we were missing opportunities, he got her pregnant again. Mm-hmm. So now we have like 9 cats, and now we have more than one cat that we had to get fixed. So, but we got him. I had to dress up in almost like a bomb suit.
With those big leather gloves on.
I had thick leather gloves on, a thick jacket, and then I had to wrestle him, and I could still feel the jaws trying to bite through the gloves to not get put in this crate. But we got him loaded up, and there's a a place in Dothan that does fixes cats, stray cats,
roundups and stuff.
Yeah, they do roundups, and they fix them for a relatively cheap price. So we were able to get on board with them. And we had the first 2 done. We need 3 done. We got 1 more that still needs to go, and we're going to try to get him in December.
Yeah, so we have at least 1 more, and then of course we got 3 baby kittens that will eventually also he's starting to need me.
I need you.
Also need to get fixed, but they're not old enough yet because they got to be obviously a certain age. They got to be like, I think 6 months old before they fix them anyway. Yeah. So, and then we're done with that army of cats. I mean, it's fine having 9 cats around. They're especially now that they're not necessarily all on the front porch anymore. They're just out and about.
I want them out in the woods and in the barn and not laying around on the front porch.
Yeah, which they did anyway. They're out hunting, grasshoppers and mice and digging around in the garden. Very annoying. But they did spend a lot of time on the front porch, which was very annoying, especially once they started multiplying. So the barn is a better place for them to be. They need to be down here. And now that they associate this with the food, that's where they kind of hang out. But
it was a little bit of a struggle. Amber thought they were all going to starve to death because we stopped feeding them on the porch, and she started walking them down to the barn with a scoop of cat food.
Yeah.
And some would come, some wouldn't, and she was worried that they were going to starve to death waiting to be fed on the front porch, and I let her know that eventually their fear of the barn will be succumbed to their hunger, and they'll come into the barn, and we're doing pretty good now.
And I mean, they're all hanging out together anyway, so as long as at least one of them got it figured out, hey, this is where the food is to be found.
Yeah. The rest will follow.
It's just supplemental anyway. We want them to be out and eating bugs and rodents.
Rodents especially.
Rodents especially. So that's that. And now he won't leave us alone. So he'll just hang out for barn talk. We weren't even going to talk about cats, but here we go anyway.
He made sure that happened.
He made sure he's part of the show. In other animal news, we went through and we counted the other day. We kind of did a roundup of how much we have, and we've got ow, he's got claws. He won't leave me alone. You take him. And we came up with over 100 animals between the cattle and the goats and the chickens and the donkeys and the cats and the dogs and all of that. And obviously, at certain times a year, they all multiply. So we just had this litter of puppies and the bunnies. Oh, I forgot the bunnies. And well over 100 animals. And then we subtracted a couple the other day.
Yeah. So earlier this week, we had some rabbits that were ready to be processed. So I got them out, and I processed 4 rabbits. And being Thanksgiving, I was like, you know what? This will be a good time to make
introduce the wider family.
The what?
Introduce the wider family to rabbit meat.
The wider family?
Yeah.
Who are the widers?
The wider family, like not just us.
The rest of the family?
Yeah, I guess.
The wider family.
Like the wider.
I don't know who the widers are.
Yeah, it's the wider family.
Okay, so introduce the rest of the family to rabbit meat. So I usually make a buffalo chicken dip. That's always a hit, and I decided to use rabbit meat instead. And we did too. We had a little lunch, Thanksgiving lunch at work, and I took rabbit dip for that. And we did it for Thanksgiving with my family, the Widers.
Shut up. I want to punch you.
And we did it for my family as well. And what I did is I didn't tell them straight up, hey, this is rabbit, you got to try it. I just told them it was buffalo dip. And they jumped right in, and everybody told me how great it was, and they couldn't stop eating it. And then somebody, I think my sister or my mom, asked about the chicken.
If it's our chicken.
Is this your chicken that you use?
Or did you buy it at Walmart?
I was like, no, it's not my chicken. She's like, it's grocery store chicken? Why would you buy grocery store chicken for this? And I was like, it's not chicken. And then the look on her, what is it?
What am I eating?
This is rabbit.
It's raccoon.
Are you serious? They were both my family and at work were both surprised that it was rabbit meat. And I was trying to explain to them that rabbit can be used to substitute just about any. Don't even do it.
I got it. I'm just going to hold him this way.
He's going to get you. Rabbit meat can be used to substitute just about any kind of chicken meal where it's cooked in a slow cooker. So like
it's good meat, and it's considered poultry.
Yeah.
Which most people don't know.
Chicken noodle soup, chicken and dumplings, anything where you would slow cook down a chicken, or use shredded chicken or anything, you could use rabbit meat for, and you won't even know the difference. It's actually, I think, more flavorful to do that way.
Yeah, the only thing with rabbit meat is that you don't have the fat content that you have with other animal meats. So you wouldn't be able to survive off of it for very long because you don't have a lot of fat with it.
We're not out here trying to survive.
No, but it's good. It's good meat. It's good variety. In Europe we eat rabbit quite a bit. It's not as weird as it is over here eating rabbit. We make rabbits for Christmas. We make a roasted rabbit or a roasted goose. Turkey is not really a thing for us, So I know we cook geese and ducks and rabbits for Christmas. That's what we do.
They don't have the land for mass turkey production.
No, we do mass pigs and mass rabbits and.
Yeah, because you don't have the land.
Yeah, we don't.
Yeah,
we don't. I mean, there's some
Germany's
of the states,
tiny. You don't realize it.
It is. I mean, land mass wise, most people don't realize how small countries are in Europe in comparison to the United States of America, right? And this is a huge country.
Yeah.
And whereas, it takes me from here to drive to New Orleans, 4 hours? In 4 hours from my hometown, I'm in Italy, So in 2 hours, I'm in Prague, or 6 hours gets me to Denmark, I mean, it's different. It's a much different setup with the way that Europe is set up, which really, I mean, a country in Europe would be considered a state over here, size-wise and all of that. But yeah, I mean, we do eat a lot of pigs, and we do eat beef too, but beef is really not consumed as much as it is over here. It's really very much an American thing to eat as much red meat.
Like I was saying, though, it's for real when I say it. You guys we have so much farmland dedicated to cattle production that you guys just don't. We probably have more land just to raise cattle than Germany has total.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. Easy. I mean, when you're thinking about the big states where
Texas,
cattle is the
Montana,
thing.
all those Midwestern ranches, if you combine all those, then that alone is probably bigger than the country of Germany.
Oh, more than Germany.
So that's why Germany relies a lot on pork and other
chicken and just smaller livestock in general. And
cattle is something, or beef is something that typically has to be imported into Germany. They have small cattle production.
We have our own beef production. That's not the issue. However, it's not done on a big scale like it is here. Our cattle is mostly used for milk production and dairy products. So the dairy,
because those cows can live in the mountains.
Exactly. So they turned out just like when you see sheep farms and stuff in Scotland, you've got all of these animals out in the mountains and in the grasslands, and they're just left to their own devices, right?
Yeah.
There's nobody supervising. They just have their little cowbells on in case somebody gets lost, so that they can find them. And there's no gates or anything. You just have those. You got
grates.
You got the grates in the ground that they can't step over, so that keeps them contained in a certain area.
Yeah.
But that's it. And then once a year, obviously for the winter, they come out of the mountains, and it's a whole event around it, right? They bring them down from the mountains. They got the headgear on, and there's a parade around it, and then they come down to wherever they live for the winter, on the farm. And when we went to Austria, we stayed. Anytime we go to Europe, we stay on a farm when we go visit, unless we stay at my mom's house. But we stayed out on a dairy farm, and they were actually famous for their cheese production and stuff. And it was fun to watch for us and for the kids too. The cows knew exactly what time it was when it was time to come home.
What stall to line
They
up
all
in.
knew exactly which stall was theirs. They all lined up. They all got their tail clipped in. Milking machine hooked up. Boom, we are going. And it was very organized. There was no need for any tools, really. They did it themselves. They just lined up. They were there, and then in the morning they go back out. So that was really cool. But yeah, when it comes to beef, it's more of a dairy thing for us than
this barn
meat
talk's
production.
Going on a wild ride.
I know, we didn't even
stuff that we didn't even plan on talking about.
So when we do the barn talks, right, we're trying to have talking points.
Yeah,
it's all right, what are we going to talk about?
What do we want to talk about today?
This was not what we were going to talk about.
Cats and beef cows were not on the list.
That was not on the list.
So we really haven't even gotten started yet.
I know. Now I don't even know what we wanted to talk about.
Oh.
We did talk about the bunnies.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, and that led us into cattle. But yeah, so they loved the rabbit meat.
Yeah, it was really good.
It did not. Once I told them it was rabbit, it did not slow down any kind of buffalo dip consumption at all.
Yeah.
It was.
I know the first time we did rabbit was as a family was in the Middle East still. You made some rabbit stew, which was good. And because he had never eaten rabbit before. Yeah. That was the first time you had ever eaten it. And we wanted to try it out because when we went down the YouTube rabbit hole.
Look at that.
Look at that. Rabbit hole.
Pun intended.
Rabbits was something a lot of people talked about for meat and for fertilizer and all of that, but he had never tried it. So he went to the meat market. Yeah,
I wanted to try rabbit just to see if it was something that we would be interested in raising, and I thought it was delicious. And we made a YouTube video about it, so maybe Nicole will post the link to that video at the end of this talk.
Yeah, I can do that. That was a funny video too.
Yeah.
He did good.
It was one of the first, so it was a little rough.
Yeah, and it was still Middle East too, so it was definitely different. There's Mama. But rabbit meat is good. Yeah. And just a good variety.
So I've had a problem with the perimeter fencing here on our pasture. The electric wire has not been hitting the way it's supposed to, and I've known about it for a while, and I've just been
procrastinating.
Kind of lazy about it because it's really just a secondary deterrent just to keep goats off the fence, to keep them from leaning on it. And a couple days ago, I thought it was something wrong with the Energizer because I was getting nothing at all. And then a couple days ago, I just did a walk around the perimeter, and I found like 4 spots where it was hard grounded out, like it was grounded hard on the pig fence, the pig pen down in the back. It was grounded out hard there, and there were a few places where the electric wire had actually came out of the bracket, the rubber plastic bracket that they're supposed to be.
Roxy just joined us.
Yeah. So I went through and I fixed it. Now it's hitting good, and now all of the animals in here that have taken for granted that the fence has been switched off, they're now finding out that we're live again. So pigs and goats and cows are all relearning the power of electricity.
Yeah.
And it's been. It's been fun.
We've been trying out different things with like keeping the cattle where they're supposed to be and keeping a little walkway open so that we can go in and out without them trying to attack the tractor or the gator.
Brody, our Highland bull, he has a real problem with our gator or our tractor. He sees them as a challenge to his manhood.
I think
he wants to. He gets territorial, and he does not like any motorized equipment in his area. So, but soon we're really getting close to starting more perimeter fencing around the area so that we can rotate these cows and the goats and everything, because we need to get grass growing in here. And like I've said before, it's just not going to happen as long as we have all these animals on the ground. We need to get them out so it can recuperate, and we can actually get some grass growing in here.
Yeah, so on our 20 acres, we probably have, maybe 10 of those acres cleared now, or semi-cleared at least. And there's still more that we can clear. There's some pretty large areas that we probably still want to go through and do some mulching and putting trees down and stuff like that. But right now, the pasture that we have, that's about 3 acres?
It's about 3.
Fenced in right now?
A little more, yeah.
And I mean, like the goats are fine, but we can't leave the cattle on here. And ideally, we move everything out to kind of give this a rest and move them on and then start more of a frequent rotation so that we can, over time, slow down with having to buy hay to supplement, and just being able to more frequently rotate them. When we went to the HOA in Virginia, we listened to Daniel Salatin on that because they're obviously pros at rotational grazing. And, he was talking about how you just kind of got to figure it out for yourself with what you got growing there. They'll eat whatever is green Is it all the same quality? No. Does it have to be? No. You figure it out. If they are content for a day on where you're turning them out before they try to escape and go somewhere else, then you have 1 cow day on that plot. And after that, you gotta move them somewhere else. So we definitely learned that when we had them out earlier in the year for like a week or 2.
Yeah.
We had them out with some.
Oh, it was more than that. It was a couple of months, I think, that we put them outside of our pasture, and we just roped off with a poly wire, just sections for them to go through and just graze on, and they loved it. And then you could tell when they were done with that area because Brody would start breaking out.
Yeah, he would greet me in the front yard in the gardens, like, "What's up?"
Be up in the front yard, hanging out.
It's like, "What's up?" So we really need to. What we're planning on doing is probably keeping the perimeter fence at a point where we probably have about 1 acre or 2 around the house that's not going to be pasture, and the rest of it is all going to be eventually
some kind of paddock.
Some kind of paddock where we can let them out and let them rotate and just have at it.
Yeah.
So because we don't need 10 acres of manicured lawn. So we really don't. But that's a big plan, and that's definitely our number 1 priority right now, because we were talking about, hey, it's winter, what kind of projects do we have? And I was asking him about his outdoor kitchen.
It's time to get back to working outside. Now that the weather's cooling down, but also with the weather cooling down, it's dark at 5 o'clock, and that is a pain as well.
It is.
So there's not much can be done after work. It's got to be done on the weekends.
On the weekends, yeah.
And, another thing that we need to look into is a better hay feeder, so we could put round bales out for the goats without the goats completely just jumping on it and completely destroying it. Because they love a good round bale until they start climbing on it and using the bathroom, and then
it's just
it's just a mountain that they play on and use the bathroom on, and they won't eat it anymore.
Yeah, that's a waste of money right there.
So,
what's up, man? Where are all your friends at? You're a sweet boy. All right. Cool. Sorry. I got distracted with the cat. Ah! Oh, stop! See?
You put him in your lap. You know what he's gonna do.
I know.
He likes to knead and paw at you with his claws.
Yeah, and obviously he's not declawed.
Yeah. so he gets in there, and Nicole's yoga pants can't take it.
No, sorry. Your jeans can't take it either.
I can deal with it though.
Put your lederhosen on.
Leather German pants.
Yeah. But, yeah, so he told me he's actually okay with taking a back seat when it comes to his outside kitchen. We're putting a little bit of break on that because, like you said, there's only so much time, and it all costs money. So
and the animals need to be the priority, not our
comfort. Without the animals that provide for us, right? We don't have the comfort that we want and that we need. So that's kind of where we are. Yeah.
So with that being said, I'm gonna get back to work. I got a bunch of sticks to pick up, and it's overcast right now, and it's not hot at all. So
it's a perfect cleanup weather outside.
Perfect outside to get some yard work done.
Yeah.
So, all right.
Well, we're gonna get to work. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you in the next one.
See you guys.